Hey there, Prairie Plant Girl here. I wanted to show you these petunias that I've sowed just 4 days ago because I put, if you saw that video, I used the row tray to sow, what was it now? Something like 12 varieties of petunias, I think. And some of them have already started to come up. This was all from saved seed. And I have the Prism Sunshine, the ones that I saved from that are already up, and also the Purple Wave is already up, and I think that's it. Oh, there's a little bit from just the regular, I don't know if it was Purple Wave or just purple petunias because I had both. These might have been from Purple Vein Shockwave or something like that. This is another purple. I can see one up in here. And oh, there's a few in here. This is that from those that I was calling lemonade last year. They're not the branded lemonade petunias, but they looked very similar to it. They were just something that came up from some petunias I grew from Save Seed the year before. Quite certain it won't show on camera, but there's a couple very tiny coming up, and this is white they were a small white petunia that I have had come back year after year from Save Seed, and they have a very almost like candy, cotton candy kind of scent to them. Not your typical petunia smell. I don't really care for that super perfumey petunia smell, but I like this was a real sweet, almost like candy. There's nothing in the peach variegated. I don't see anything in the pink vein shockwave. And then I had a bunch of seed that I collected from my neighbor's plants. Oh, there's one in, oh, that was the purple. Yeah, I don't see anything coming up in those. But I would like to get these, some of these yellow Prism Sunshine. There's lots of them coming up. So I'd like to get them separated out into a proper tray now, so they can grow on and have room. And then I might do the Purple Wave, but it's all gonna be the same thing. So I'll do that off camera. You don't need to see me do a million of these. But I thought you might like to see how I take them out of the row tray and get them into a regular seed flat. So that's what we're going to do today. So, like I said, I filled up this tray here. I need to put some moisture in it. The mix that I'm using here is just my regular peat moss mix that I use for seed starting, and it has a slight bit of moisture to it, but it's not wet enough. So I'm just going to put some water in the bottom of the tray, and then the medium will soak that moisture up while we are planting. And then I'm going to need, of course, my seeds here, my seedlings, I guess. I'm going to move them, just going to move them forward so I can reach this. And then I'm going to be using just a skewer. You could use a toothpick if you're really delicate, like a pair of tweezers or something, sharp pencil. You just need something that you can get kind of a fine digging tool. Even sometimes you'll get, when you order things online, especially through Amazon, you'll get these little tools. You could use something like this that has a fine point on the end. I just really like the skewer. It's what I'm used to. So I'm going to mix up, and I'm going to put some of this transplant fertilizer. They're a little bit young yet, but they'll be okay with that in the soil. I'm going to mix it like at half strength and put it in the bottom of the tray. And no, I don't use bottled water for my plants. I just don't have a good water source near this room, so I just haul water in. So I have lots of jugs of it around. So then I can just take one of these trays out. And actually I can see I dumped some soil in the bottom. So that out of there. Now, when I filled these seedling trays, I bounced this up and down on the ground a couple of times once I had them all filled with soil. So I settled, filled them again, and then I actually gave them a slight push and then filled them again. Now, I didn't want to have it super compacted on that soil, but I want a good amount of soil in there so it can wick the moisture up. I find especially in some of these seed trays, the outer ones sometimes don't soak the moisture as much. And if you have a little bit of a denser pack, again, not like tight pack, but a little denser, sometimes they'll just seem to soak the soil up or the water up a little bit better when you're bottom watering. So that's what I did to prepare these. And now we're just going to go in and get the pointy end of my skewer here, and I'm just going to find a petunia seedling that's poking up here and just try and gently lift it up. Whoops. And then that's the little seedling. And then I can just take it over to my tray here, make a little divot, and just stick it in there. You can barely see it, they're so tiny. And I could wait a few days to do this, but they're very densely packed in here. And I plan to be away in a few days, so this just gets me started so I don't come home to a bunch of seedlings that are super tight together and struggling to get light. So hopefully you could see that. I probably had my hand in the way there. So scoop one up. Sometimes you can just get the whole thing scooped, but I did put a lot of vermiculite in this so that if they do become kind of packed together, they're not, the roots will still pull out nicely. Where did that go? Come here. Okay, so again, just put it in a little hole. You don't even probably need to really dig a hole for these little guys. Set it down. Just push the soil around it, and you can bury it deeper than it was. It'll be fine with these tiny seedlings like this. And that's all there is to doing this. And then once I get this whole tray filled, I'll show you what I do next just to make sure they're settled in really nicely. But the one I am going to put, like this tray holds 72 seedlings. And that might seem crazy, but I'm going to plant this whole tray with this variety of petunia because I really liked that prism yellow sunshine petunia. And as I've stated before, when you save seed, you don't always necessarily get the same look on all of your plants. I should get some that look like that though. And so I want to get as many of those as I kind of can without planting every little seedling that comes up. And there's lots of them there, so I'm going to plant up all, what does that make? 6 dozen of them. I won't do that with every variety here, but I did know I wanted a lot of those, so I planted a lot. So, like I said, I'm just going to go through. It's going to be a little bit tedious, but I'm just going to keep doing every single one of these little seedlings, and then we'll come back and get them set up for the next few weeks of life here. I'm actually trying this little tweezer. Came with some pots that I purchased one time, and it kind of works good for this because these seedlings are loose enough with all the vermiculite in here, and they're so young. I mean, they just came up like yesterday, so they're pulling up pretty nicely. It's not the best for getting them in the soil, but it's working. So this type of little tweezer like this with a little bend like this might actually be better than the skewer at this stage. It's a little bit young to be pulling them up, but I want to get this job done, so. if you are going to use a tweezer, like I'm not squeezing tight on the stem. I'm just using the leaves to kind of lift it so that I'm not breaking the stem. All right, so it's probably pretty difficult for you to see, but there's just 6 dozen of these seedlings all planted up in here. Now, as you might assume, it gets a little easier as the soil, you can see it's darker now. As it soaks up the water, it sticks less to your fingers and that. And then it's easier to just set that seedling in there and just put a little soil around it, or peat moss, I guess. And that settles the seedling in without it getting all stuck to everything. A few of these did get probably 2, 3, 4 seedlings popped in their spot, but for the most part, it's just a single seedling in each area. And they're in the soil, they might just have a very tiny amount of soil over the root. They're very small thread-like roots right now. And I'm just going to go over and spray them with a little water. That should help them to just settle in just a little bit more, get those roots settled in a bit more. They may get slightly buried doing this, but they will lift back out looking for the light, and they're still young enough. It's not going to affect them too much. Now, all the soil underneath is nice and damp now. It's just, I'm just trying to get them settled in is all I'm doing here. Kind of pack that soil around that little tiny root a little bit. Or peat moss, again, it's not real soil. And now these will go on my light shelves here, just for like probably a week. Petunias like to be grown on in cooler conditions. So once they have about 3 to 4 true leaves, right now these are just what's called their cotyledon leaves. So they're very, very, let's try and pull one up here, try and show you. So I don't know how well you'll be able to see, but it's just 2, I'm blocking the light. Just 2 little leaves. And those are the leaves that kind of push out of the seed, kind of open the seed up, and just throw it down on one of these here. Those cotyledon leaves open the seed shell up, and that's what pushes up through the soil. And then as they continue to grow, they'll grow what's called their true leaves. And those are the leaves that are going to look like the plant's actual leaves normally look. The cotyledon leaves are usually these kind of oval type leaves, and then the rest will look like what you would expect. Now with the petunia, they look almost the same as the cotyledon leaves, but you know, some plants like a parsley, a celery, a sunflower, they look much different. So your true leaves are those leaves that are the next set after that first 2 leaves. And then you want a couple of sets of those, and then you want to take your seedling tray and put it somewhere cool. And I'm talking like low teens Celsius, like 15-ish or less. 13 to 15, probably perfect. And you still want good bright light, and let them grow on like that. And that will give you the best branching and bushiness. They'll still grow if you don't give them that, but they won't branch the same, they won't fill in the same, and they say the flowering will be less. So I try to grow them in that cooler temperature. I found the floor of my basement, we don't keep our basement super hot. That's where I am right now, and this room is very, very warm because I have so many lights and heat mats and things going behind me. But down on the floor where it's concrete, they stay a little bit cooler. Or if you have a window ledge that doesn't have like hot afternoon sun blazing in, but that'll be a little bit cooler if you have a large enough window ledge. And then I would still put, because again, you don't want that super hot afternoon sun shining on them, so you're still probably going to need some supplemental light. So you want like kind of like a north facing window, or even probably an east facing window would be okay, so you get that morning sunshine, but you're not going to get that hot afternoon sunshine on them. So just somewhere cool anyways, and you'll probably still want supplemental lighting. So I keep some of my old light fixtures that have stands, I keep those just for growing my petunias and getting them onto their final stage. Once it warms up, so it's no longer going below 0, then these go out to my greenhouse, and usually they can be a little bit cooler. If it gets really warm in there, I'll even pull them outside during the day in the early spring. That's what I'm going to do with my seedlings. So they don't need a humidity dome anymore. They could just for a day, just while they're settling in here, but they don't need it. These are all germinated. They don't need a heat mat. They don't need a humidity dome. That's just encouraging fungus and things. So just nice plants ready to go under some light, bright light. And like I said, once they've grown just for another week or so and gotten a few true leaves on them, then they'll go somewhere cooler. So that's all it takes. And you don't have to start them out in a tray like this. I was just starting so many varieties, and they're all safe seeds, so you just never know what's gonna germinate and what isn't. So I didn't want to use up this much space times like 12 varieties to find out that 3 varieties didn't germinate at all. So this was just kind of a way to use less space here while I get them germinated, and then I can move them over once they are. So it's just an extra step that I'm doing. So I'm gonna work on the purple wave petunias, but I don't think you need to see me do a whole nother 72 cells of moving seedlings over. So thanks for coming along with me today. Let me know if you grow petunias and what you think of it, and if you collect your own seed. I do have videos on seed collecting, so if you're looking to learn how to do that for for this growing season, just search Prairie Plant Girl Seed Saving or Prairie Plant Girl Seed Collecting, and there's several videos that'll come up. Some are specific to certain plants, so I can't remember if I think I have one just for petunias, so you could try Prairie Plant Girl collecting petunia seeds, and you should get a video that pops up for you. Thanks for coming along with me today, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.